So now we have entered, we work for Minuteman Precision Machine and Tool Corporation, have returned all the money, yeah, and we have to return the money to Grumman Aerospace, who paid them, I believe, a 5-year contract, U.S. military mechanical drawing to establish a set of dimensions with a calculator and a legal pen and put on a file cabinet and issued to the other companies was to no avail. They have to fix it. They would not give up radians. They would not give up radians. They would not go with our generation, 1982, meaning the banishment of Satan, which happens every 100 years. You know, or a couple of new kids, a couple of great parents. So this one was the Articles of Deception, Psychiatry, and Legal Degree. You know, that we're going to remove the stars from heaven and put them on earth and return the satellites. You know, so I mean, it's hard. I mean, that's what we could know. As is the replacement is a former Soviet Union, not former Soviet, Soviet Union, former Soviet Union, and his trainee in southern Florida, 15 funded states by the state of Florida plan. Usually, if you bring up Bay News 9, you'll find the 15 post-ups who have been funded. Actually, I think the last time I saw there's only 12 left. The rest went to melee. They couldn't establish who's working and who isn't. You know what I mean? Nobody would walk to the front of the table. They won't want to get punched down. But the law is of Christ to get dead as soon as possible to set their thought process. And you don't want to, but that's a natural struggle, which I think that is what is the originals, right? The originals to set up the workshop. I just saw it announced. These are FM stereo rebroadcast, 20-year time delay. And we see what looked like an MD-80 crash of French workers. And we heard one in the backyard, their plane crash. Rebroken. We get to watch what happened in Florida from 1950 to 2000, where I think they came here to build, they asked for, or like they came to Atlantis, and wanted us to build them E2s and A6s and F-14s. And they did. I don't know what did they all. I mean, they built as many as possible. Our contract was to build 15, 7 and 3, one complete spare, two mechanical drawing spares. Wait, you draw it on the machine with a pen in the actual machine. This plotters were not working. Although they have this in many parts of the world, even 400 years ago, they were building woods, with enlisted men that were de-enlisted to compete with the public, and it got nasty, you know what I mean? And they're building things that were not ever be. No, that's yours. It's totally yours. But they don't stop submitting invoices to U.S. military. Now, we're not ever paying a bill. Not that we're tough or something. You didn't pay your taxes. You paid the city taxes, you paid county taxes, you paid the state taxes. You build yourself whole clubs with golden wine to get along together sexually. We produce offspring, we get married. They purchased me for $325 from something that when we were put in hell, by the the Argent Pretend like I was falling in love with a 5-year-old kid. You know what I mean? You know, the Argentine Inquisition. You know, I don't remember. Oh, Spanish Inquisition. Um, when I was purchased my Camelot for $325, meaning I think it's 501 that they put a bunch of money up for drugs. You know, and travel and all this is just not possible. There's no way to get home for 20 years. No way even to get there with aircraft. Not unless you're an Air Force pilot. Or ascended to heaven or hell. Going back here, would not be what we thought. We thought we live our lives and die and go and earth is heaven, hell, and prison. The cops will make sure of it. And it was all the deputies, to fit them up. But the competition was just Seven Michaels, and the Great Prince never did happen. I mean, it was very close, but it was executed. You know, you know. They let him die of natural causes. It still hasn't happened, so Christ hasn't happened. Either that or the New Testament has gone in front of the book and the Great Prince. Comes over here and wrecked it. He'll fight up the palace. He'll fight up the palace. And over there, there's a Tampa Bass fucking deity. Was he handsome? I said, right here. He ran here Roman, bro, 20,000 years ago. I mean, it took 20,000 years to build that city when it were worldwide like still there. Every 100 years falls down. Because you fucking idiot, because the military blows the absolutely. Did you meet this man? I mean, was that when you're a delusional idiot? When the light comes out of the sun, and after 100 years, or roughly 100 years, the sound wave comes out, makes it solid. Now you're in the flesh and bone. Shit, I could be in more pain. Contusion, cancer, bronchitis, and tuberculosis. As we exit, we're just passing through the area. We got some people made a request to the U.S. military that supposedly Brooke Shields had incurred 1,700 deaths. That I mean, they sent her invoices, paperwork. Did she issue a purchase for quarter law? That somehow I'm paying this 30,000 for Cumberland Farms. I mean, I forget which. But I can only give you the government's money. I mean, the government gave me an allotment to just redistribute to you people. Which means it wanted a complete home theater system, a mobile phone, and who else? I forget which, and they wanted to do that to me at the end of a program where everything was fine, it all checked out. As the Russians take over our base and we take over their base, and on culture and resolve some of the differences through debate. But as far as this is concerned, and what I see here probably happened with, and probably happened recently, that the French would think we're going to make you airplanes. I would think, go to Iraq. I sit down, relax. You know what I mean? But I mean, I would give you a work as a consultant. I mean, I'm getting paid 18. I mean, I was supposed to. I was like at 2,450 a month, $800 taxes a month, $103, $90 Medicare, which is to take it in check. And then what I get, 1861 a month, and then change all the insurances and all the money I paid to, and not pay any of the pharmacy or I mean, games with gender. And that somehow I owe this. So, I mean, what do I owe? Probably $40 million. I mean, Michelangelo Rodriguez, a bill for Mike has $40 million. All his relatives. Relatives. I don't know the French culture. Relatives, people all say he owes them money. $40 million. Right. Right. So you fuck the entire thing up. Well, the implant, you fucked the whole thing out, right? And then what was your point? I was the highest paid. Oh, shit. Take that to court law. I was the least paid employee, earned, worked the most amount of hours. Right? And do you want to make a change to EDU? Like, that's a fucking beautiful surprise. That's a beautiful surprise. Now, get straight. No follow support check. Right? But that didn't happen yet. It was EMO. And then when they saw in my brain this way I take instruction. You can suck my fucking dick, you quit. Like that. Have the cat come over and shoot me in the back of the head, fuck you. What if I came up with digital right? I have to wait. Is it what idea? Where's the check? Watch this one. It's nothing more than to accentuate and all people and themselves a Gorbachev, perestroika, plan of Brezhnev, socialism and communism, that somehow you get his money that he said he was going to steal. And that family it's now worth $25 million. 8 acres of land on the waterfront across from Merchants Bay. Used to be known as Stroller Brothers before that, Jerry Angels. Yeah. But it was the end slave traffic. No more $7 an hour. No more $15 for a family. And I mean, you want to drink and drive. You want to go to the bar after work. I mean, maybe Friday for an hour for a meal with your wife or girlfriend. And you go home and make love. Then see if we throw it in the fucking street, all fucking over. She don't get off to me. Or or if you did you get pregnant? What do you blame me for? What are you, what are you sterile? Because busy, you can just me. I heard. Well, we're dying of contusion here. I mean, it's an aim, you know what I mean? And we're part of the aim program. We just want to go up there and to and be a part of we're invited actually for the Northeast for Israel, which was great, 1950 to 2000. Here, from 1950 to 2000, we're just looking at a stereo rebroadcast 20 years time going. Apparently, the French soldiers transport MD-80 crashes, and I had one in that backyard. But that's it happened already. We can see. We wanted to see what exactly. And I'm down here that the French Marine Corps would come up and take our essence of the U.S. military, of Washington, Seattle, who funds all things with a computer. I mean, it's funded for. Have you ever seen that? But don't. Was totally defended by a satellite system, right? If you go on, it's a fake brochure. I mean, if you go to Hollywood, it's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Were you playing with the computers? You still pay? All these things happened already. And people, well, they did tell us in Atlantis, which was, the first thing they would do is shut it down, prove the point. Right? 25-year-old kids, 21-year-old kids are in illegal law school. Right? Well, those things had already been done. More wasteful spending. They would not accept what the parents told them. So, um, and just a new set of people for the next 100 years. So if you listen to any kind of music, I think, it's 1990, is it 2009, 1990, your laptop with HDMI cord plugged in or a full system for the next like a 12 with no wiring. There's a lot of money. You know what I mean? For, I mean, and how would that be if you're on a public support system? But you're giving government money, you owe the money back. Right? What did I put? Yeah, my next loan installment is the third. My next loan installment is the third Wednesday every month, but I still owe the money. You know, so, but the whole thing for that family, as an orphan family, was they had a $25 million estimate. And why was that the case? They had public support checks. How was that a $500,000 public support checks? And then at the end of the program, come to see, as the scripture says in that off. In West 80, there's nothing here. There's absolutely nothing here. There's nothing out there. Now we have the routes to go. That's a foreign language. So there's East and West Coast, right? And divergent cultures. Like Washington's, yeah, gay, lesbian, pedophilia. You know what pedophilia is? Sex with your children. You know, I did say here in the county that there's a French culture, and that all that is English is a little pocket in Maine boxed into a car. Where Camelot came out with Melchizedek and a Bible, which is really interesting. A good read on Sunday with the book on all sides in your lap for an hour with your quote. You know what I mean? So what we discount Jesus Christ and Great Prince Michael, which has not happened yet. Or if there was, the Jews said there's no resurrection of the dead, and it just kill you if it was. Well, as far as this particular Michael is supposedly dead, I think how do you pronounce it? He's going to put tendons on his bones. Yeah. So, and then how would you know? I mean, this is awfully big earth. But I think God would say, not that I'm not doing anything. And that we're here in Florida to do science, which should be a molecule atom in somewhere in, in Long Island, somewhere in the Shinnecock area. How do we drive it? How do we get it? How do you send it to heaven? And then the people that tried it, whether UFO or aircraft, there was none. There was none. And they all blew up in space. It was NASA total line. It was good for Florida. Good to hang out in your house, but we did get the home theaters. There's all kinds of problems. You didn't pay the broadcast fees. You didn't pay the artist, or did you pay the bill? And then there's not enough customers, to meet costs. And they had more debt, so we had 400 million people. I mean, they never paid their bills from thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? And that you owe that money. You got to take your fair share of costs. You know? You know? So all your relatives, collectively, what you want them to do is sit there and write down all their credit cards, all their loans, and what they owe. And the first thing they would have to do is have connectivity. They don't know how to, get second CAC, a CAC memory. So, maybe your family over 400 years, you get some enlisting guy that makes some money. So we look at what's available, and then if I remember correctly, we'd have to go actually look at it. The shelves should be full. The warehouses should be full. Walmart, Target, CVS Pharmacy, right? One of your own Walgreens, it should be all full. Dollar General, Family Dollar, gas station full with stock, and then it's all fresh because God does these things. The sunlight, that maybe the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, made a mistake. Or hey, did you did I need a pizza yesterday? Or was it for sure good going down? It was interesting and surprised when we woke up this morning. Well, that's way too much food. Maybe you get a bite to eat and don't give the rest to the cats. Now we gotta train them a little. Do you have many? What do you mean? As it was the next one. He's gonna train cats. Can you feed them? That's a terrible pass. Well, you put the bread and you put the grains and the bread out, fiber out, and the milk out. These things will walk around drinking ants. You know what I mean? They can't take a shit. Well, you won't drink milk. You know what I mean? They won't have fiber. Or you're not getting, or maybe I'll give you a couple of cans of calf. So, for 30. I got to redistribute what the United States of America gives me. So what I don't get, the United States of America throw me out for having sex when I was 14 or 15 years old. Let me get me USA citizen. Cheating, stealing, lying. Quiz, Steve. I had to return to the house. I started out from about 7 guys. We're about 7 years old, and we're fine to come and get our paperwork. When I came down here, I was hoping to do my last 25 years and went to the fire department. And they told me to get the fuck off the property. So I'm out. You know what I mean? I brought the product down to get off the property. So that's how, you know, so it was a marshal. So no further, you know, I can't grab my pistol off the shelf. Left it. I'm sure there's 4 other guys on the show. But this is a retirement community with 50 people left, and nobody paid the bill. Which Grumman Aerospace, U.S. military, and NASA purchased collectively built a wonderful retirement community. But the program entered what's in Northrop. They didn't pick up the contract. You know what I mean? So we set the whole thing up. It works perfectly fine. You know, we loaded it up into our brain, the telepathy system, known as the psychiatrist for money. And that's only possible if I worked for you to get paid. And so they stole all my money, all my tax payments. What they were supposed to do is try to job for 1 week after the newspaper article and get straight. So, you know, get straight, go steal something. You know what I mean? And they did. So now I made all these investments and just, I mean, here comes all their bills. I mean, the people I picked was suck investments, shit investments that didn't, they didn't have a bill collector. You know what I mean?